I'm just going to use my custom white balance right here. I'm going to press it. Sorry. I'm going to press and hold my white balance. Okay, and I got a good. I don't know what they were doing. Are you a couple, by the way? Yeah. Oh, terrific. Okay, well, put your arm around her like you like her.
She smiled when she said that.
Now, those of you who have seen our TTL videos, you know the best way to solve TTL is to go to single area autofocus and move it around, right? Here's what we don't do. Will you stand up for me, Bo? Here's what we don't do. Say we're doing a vertical shot. Stay right there. Say we're doing a vertical shot, right? We wanted to shoot just like this. You don't want to use your center autofocus. Here's what people do, right? And if you do this, don't be embarrassed. Here's what they do. You'd probably do this, right? Don't hit me, man. You're bigger than me. Yeah. Here's what they do. They leave it on center focus, right? And then they frame up to the center, press the shutter button halfway down, and then they reframe, and then go ahead and shoot, right? TTL doesn't work like that. You know why? Because the TTL sensor is where it focuses at. So if you're center, you focus on his chin, and then you pull back down, you hit the go button, the TTL actually measures off his blue shirt, which actually is pretty close to the right tone, actually. Thanks, pal. But if you had a white shirt or a black shirt on, which you probably do in a wedding environment, hello, your TTL is then measuring off that white or that black as it sees. That's why your TTL exposures are all over the place. Here's what you do. You go to single area autofocus, and you use your thumb. See the thumb thing? Canon folks, you got that little crown right there? Okay, you go vertical, and you, this is so simple. See, the moms with cameras don't have any problems with this, because they didn't learn any bad habits, right? Single area autofocus, and then put it on the person's face after you frame the shot. Then shoot the picture. That way, the sensor actually picks the TTL info off the person's face, moves it right back. Okay? So we've just now neutralized our color from these two flashes. We got two people, scoochie together. I'm going to take my autofocus sensor and I'm going to put it right on this beautiful young lady's eye, and then give me a nice smile. There you go. How's that for nice light? Not bad, huh? Let's get rid of some of that room light. I'm going to go actually down an ISO. Let me shoot another one. Okay? Same thing. There you go. Nice. Oh, good. I'll get some daylight in the background, too. You can see the window in the back. There you go. All day long. Can I take your picture, too? Do you mind? Okay. There you go. Okay? This light is covering the whole room. Plus, this is the way I shoot. See that dark wall in the background? I don't like black in the background. I want to see that it's in some sort of room, right? So I can take your picture again. You don't mind, do you? Stay right there. Stay right there. Nice. Okay. Oh, very handsome. Yeah. Hold on. I'll put it way off to one side, moving my autofocus sensor with my thumb. Very James Bond-like. Yeah. Okay? This is the way that I'm going to shoot this room. I'm going to have, this is ISO 400, so I don't have to worry about any noise or issues at all. I like to shoot as close to wide open as I'm comfortable, and usually it's f4. I'm using a fast lens which focuses every time, and you'll see that my exposure, no matter what skin tone, is fine. You know why? Because I let the camera do its job. I put the autofocus sensor and the TTL pickup sensor on the place that I want the most proper exposure, which is his handsome face, which is her beautiful eyes, which is her pretty smile. Did you see how fast I did it? Did anybody think that was a trick? Okay, it's not a trick, right? How did I do that? Well, we used the right tool for the job, didn't we? Yeah. If you want TTL, you need to jump in there with both feet and get equipment that works in TTL. And also, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, guys, the best way to improve your TTL is to get a fast lens. If you're using an f4 zoom, forget it. Don't even bother. Really, really. If you're using an f4 zoom, well, Will, I bought the L series f4 zoom and it's good. You're right. In fact, the image quality is terrific. But when it comes to TTL, it's too slow. That's a 1.4 lens. That means it's 2 stops brighter than an f4 lens. 2 stops. That means it's 4 times the amount of light. So the TTL is much more accurate, isn't it? Sure it is. Why? Because we gave it more data. Your camera will work properly when you give it the right data. What's holding back your TTL? 2 things. You, and the fact that some of the stuff that's in the instruction manual you actually believe. The joke's on you. Right. I actually read instruction manuals on vacation. We just got back from vacation. It's so funny. The kids are on the beach and they're surfing and having a great time. And I'm just sitting back there reading the new Lightroom book that I got from, Lynette Kent. This is really great, Lightroom book. My wife says, wow, how many instruction manuals are you going to go through on this vacation? I said, oh, I got 6. I can't wait to get to the one. You ready? Let's talk about going outside. When we go outside, we're going to have to open up a brand new box. Are you ready? It's called percent of flash. Percent of flash is everything about controlling light when you're blending outdoor light or ambient light with your flash. You need to start thinking in percent of flash. Your brain needs to be able to realize that this is direct sun, right? That's direct sun. These are my 2 dumbest employees. They're dummies, get it? Yeah. That's a dumb joke. Okay, direct sun. Horrible. This is 30% flash and 70% available. That means this percent of flash is 30%. 30% flash and 70% ambient light is typically not what we feel as professional grade fill flash, is it? The light that's on their face is pretty harsh. The background's still pretty bright. This is not going to be a professional shot. So 30% of flash is not where we want to be. Let's move on. There's 40% of flash. 40% flash, 60% ambient light. Notice how we're starting to get a little feel that there's actually some light. Now forget about the light quality on their face for now. Let's just talk about the relationship between the front of their face and the background. 50-50. This is typically where we want to be. So this is equal. This is equal amounts, when we talk about the light that's on their face, equal amounts of flash and ambient light. Same, same, same. That's 50-50. This is typically where most of us want to be. This is a creative decision. You may see that and say, I want a more bold expression. If I'm going to shoot sports, or I'm going to shoot weddings, or I want to shoot kids' portraits, I want them to snap out of that background more, and a 50-50, a standard 50-50, is not what I'm looking for creatively. I'm with you. You decide what you want, but you need to know technically what you want. You can't just look at it and go, oh, that's terrific. Hold on. You need to know how to set your camera to get that result every time. Here's what I'm telling you guys. If 50-50 is where you want to be, I can show you how to take your camera and nail that outdoors every time. Consistently, perfectly, boom, 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 out the door. 50-50 is the easiest way to go. Say you want a little bolder look. There's 60-40. 60-40. Now we're starting to get pretty heavy, right? Now we're starting to overpower the sun. This is difficult to do, and for most folks, they don't think it's very attractive, particularly if we're talking about weddings or portraits. 80% flash starts to make it look like it's nighttime. Even balanced fill. That's my lovely daughter and my favorite pup, Tula. Even balanced film takes direct sunlight. When we put it behind our subject, it is going to blow out the highlights a little bit, right? Do we care? No. If you ask me if I'm going to go in the backyard and I'm going to take a picture of my daughter and my pup, I'm going to aim for 50-50. I really am. Why? That's just what I want to do. My sunshine and my flash blend together and give me a perfect 50-50 balance. Let's say I wanted to have more flash. Here's where we get into stops. Say I wanted more flash and less available light like this. That would be a 70% flash, which is 1 stop greater. When you set your camera to +1 stop, or you use your flash meter for +1 stop, you'll find out that you're going to get 70% flash and 30% available, and that's what it's going to look like. Your background's going to get darker. Why? Because you're only using 30% of the available light to make your total exposure. The majority of your exposure is coming from your flash. See it? You decide. If you look at that and go, ooh, that background's pretty dark, I don't know, that's not what I'm looking for, man. Well then, you're probably a 50-50. Watch this. We'll take a poll. We're going to choose between a 50-50 fill and a +1 stop fill. We're going to take a poll of see who likes which one's better. How many people between these two images, the one that's +1 stop and the balanced, how many people like the 50-50 the best? How many people like the +1 stop the best? See, it's usually 2/3, 1/3. We hit it right on the head.